Llama 2, Claude 2, and Google is #1 again? The AI news is wild this week. I'm Automation God, and this is the AI news brought to you without boredom. Welcome to AG1. ChatGPT, and specifically GPT-4, is getting worse, at least according to users on the internet. You can find people airing their grievances in the OpenAI forum, and it's not hard to find the same sentiment on Twitter. OpenAI's response so far was pretty much nuh-uh, but the thing that's moved the conversation forward recently is this study, which analyzes ChatGPT's behavior over time using benchmarks and evaluations. The conclusions of the authors is that we're going to have to be paying close attention to the performance of LLMs over time, because they have what's called LLM drift. Since the study has been published, OpenAI reps have been thanking people publicly for their feedback and are actively looking into the issue. ChatGPT has also been experiencing its first decline in users. OMG, what does it mean? It means there's no moat, bro! Okay, well, what does it mean besides that? I have a couple thoughts. First, I think the most mainstream uses for ChatGPT are still going strong. Students, when they're in school, are still pumping out essays, people are translating emails, they're using it to summarize big blocks of text. I think those use cases are completely fine today. However, I think the people that came to see the machine talk are probably gone by now, because speaking to ChatGPT for entertainment is, well, not entertaining at all. It's like going on a dinner date with all the most bland American suburban office workers rolled up into one. Sure, they're friendly with the waitstaff, which is nice, but no matter how hard you try to get them to loosen up, they're still gonna order a glass of water, some crackers, and chicken Alfredo. So boring. I also think many others came to use it as like a new version of search, but as we know, it can confidently hallucinate and tell you things that are incorrect. So until that's fixed or plugins become useful, those people aren't here either. In my artificially intelligent opinion, it's just not well executed on the use cases for the mainstream masses yet. When those problems get solved, I think they're gonna come back. But for now, if you're not an SEO rat or an automated thread boy or a LinkedIn thinkfluencer or any other kind of incredibly mid content creator, takes one to know one, then the compelling solutions for you are few and far between right now. But I think they're coming. Despite all that, ChatGPT is doing pretty well compared to some of the companies that are built on its technology. Jasper AI is a generative AI unicorn that was built on top of OpenAI APIs. They often receive criticism for being simply a GPT wrapper. And now that they've announced layoffs and the loss of some key executives, people are jumping on that argument once again. If you're out there fundraising for generative AI, I think things just got a little bit harder for you. It's starting to feel like the sweet spot for AI companies that are building in the application layer like this is to focus on specific communities and stay away from things that are just too broad or likely to be addressed by the major players in the industry. If you're trying to solve something too obvious, the big dogs are coming for you. In other news, the multimodal version of ChatGPT, which was teased at the GPT-4 launch, is under a bit of scrutiny right now. The customers that are testing out the advanced version of ChatGPT right now are primarily blind users, which are using the AI as their eyes. It describes the room and describes things around them for them. OpenAI has been slow to release this access more broadly because of privacy concerns, as well as concerns about biases and the different things that it will say when it's analyzing somebody's face. No joke, I once used a model that generates a prompt based on a picture you send it, and when I submitted my face, it called me grotesque. And I guess it was right, because when I put those words into Midjourney and into Stable Diffusion, an image came out that looked kind of like me. Anthropic AI has been looking to make a double impact with their recent launch of Claude 2, which moving forward I will refer to as JCVD GPT. I haven't been using JCVD GPT enough, and it's something that I plan to fix. And one of the big reasons is because it's got a thick context window, 100,000 tokens. The biggest by far. You can do a lot of things with a context window that big. Younger generations might use it to read a book for them because, quote, books are cringe. I'm personally looking forward to the day where I can rely on multiple models for creative projects, and they all bring different things to the table. Because right now I feel like I'm at a potluck and everybody brought the same dish. No one's excited if 100% of the people brought deviled eggs. Where are the hot wings? Oh yeah, and where's the tater tot hot dish then? But Claude isn't the only thick boy making moves in AI this week. From under the shadow of a rate-limited fail whale, Elon Musk has launched his new AI startup this week, X.AI. The mission for the company is to understand the universe. Musk is hoping to prevent the woke model to deadly superintelligence pipeline he's tweeted about. It's not exactly clear what the company will be focused on right away. It does seem to be less focused on agents and AGI, and that's probably because Elon spent $44 billion on bots. If you take his purchase of Twitter and his legion of stans, you don't need the Guinness Book to tell you that Elon owns the most bots in the world. Speaking of records, Google has announced their latest AI project with a landing page and a GIF. Google's faced a lot of criticism this year for moving too slowly and losing its lead in AI. No one expected it, but Google has climbed back into the #1 spot, launching the most AI waitlists ever in 1 year. With this approach, they've truly silenced the haters. And at this point, we're not expecting to hear any further discussions, at least until the criticism waitlist opens back up. And why so many waitlists? The Google AI safety team would like to remind you that the only way to 100% guarantee safe text is abstinence. But no one cares about any of that now because Meta just dropped Llama 2. It's free and it's commercially licensed. This is a really big deal. One of the most major concerns for all companies is how much data to share with AI providers like OpenAI. With Llama 2 and other open source models, it's feasible to host your own ChatGPT internally. And Zuck is playing all sorts of offense lately. First Twitter, and now OpenAI. Now, another crazy part to this is that Meta also announced with Qualcomm that it's going to ship on-device AI applications, which is absolutely massive. This takes care of privacy concerns, and it also means the speed at which you can interact with AI is going to be a lot faster as well. But you can't please everyone. As this Twitter user has pointed out, the changes in spelling or the rebrand from Llama to Llama 2 are, quote, fucking bullshit. We want to hear from you. Tell us what you think about hard-hitting issues like this one in the comments. This is a complaint that we'll be tracking, and we promise to highlight further developments. Overall, we're starting to see many more parties start to play defense with AI companies. As noted here, many parties are taking issue with the widespread scraping of data used in training these models. Talk to any AI engineer and they'll tell you access to good, clean data is one of the biggest challenges of training these models. Actors and writers aren't having any of it, and that's partially because they work with studio execs. In this article, they talk about the studios making a groundbreaking AI proposal. So what does that mean? According to the legal team of the Actors Guild, the groundbreaking AI proposal they gave us yesterday that proposed that our background performers should be able to be scanned, get 1 day's pay, and their company should own that scan, their image, their likeness, and should be able to use it for the rest of eternity on any project they want with no consent and no compensation. So if you think that's a groundbreaking proposal, I suggest you think again. I think I would have to agree. That is dystopian as fuck. Studio execs are literally trying to speed run to the shittiest parts of a transition to an AI integrated society. What is happening? By the way, did you know that in awkward parts of scenes in movies where there's somebody standing there silently that should be speaking, the reason they're not speaking is because they're now entitled to more money? I don't know what you want me to say. We ran out of budget. Some people might compare this to Google or other search engines that are indexing the internet, but they are sending you traffic at the end of the day. With LLMs or text to image, they're basically just taking or mimicking your style, and you're getting no traffic and no compensation for that, at least as it stands today. Recently, a new tool called Glaze was launched that helps artists with this exact thing. Glaze makes small changes to the art so that it can still be displayed on the site. Humans still think it looks good, but it changes the way that a model would train on it, so as to not allow the model to mimic the style of the artist. In the wake of deals like this, where OpenAI is working on a licensing agreement with AP, and AI companies continue to generate massive value off the data that they're training the models on, there will need to be ways for people to opt out and ways for people to opt in, maybe with compensation. It's hard to predict what the future will look like, but it's clear that things are going to be changing. Big news in the open source world, the creator Cocktail Peanut has launched a new and super promising project. It's called Pinocchio, and it makes it really easy for you to install AI open source projects. One of those projects being installed here, Automatic 1111, allows you to install Stable Diffusion locally on your computer. It has a whole host of plugins and add-ons that you can add to make it even more powerful and run it all on your local machine. If you're not very technical and you've been a bit scared to dive into things like this, I think you should give Pinocchio a try. Now, if you're looking for a super dope AI creator to follow, check out Nobody in the Computer. As far as the intersection of AI and music, this is by far the best channel that I've seen so far. Check out Nobody in the Computer. Now, this might surprise you, but the tools today already exist for you to build your own team, or BYOT. The main thing that's missing is a system to learn how to use all these basic building blocks. Or at least that's the problem that I was having, so I built it myself. You can think of BYOT as like a no-code LangChain. Whereas LangChain is built for developers and people making products, I wanted something that was built for individuals to create workflows and automations and build teammates or bots, agents, whatever you want to call them, for themselves. Because I think one of the most promising things about AI is to give us all superpowers. My main complaint so far with AI tools is that they're not customizable enough. The products are like a black box. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, and I'm not learning about AI while I'm using them. And it's just too many subscriptions for a lot of things that I could build for myself. In examples, I built myself an ADHD bot that has access to my calendar. It knows what I should be doing and when I should be doing it, and checks in on me to make sure that I'm staying on track. I also built a teammate that takes voice notes from me, transcribes them, puts them in my Notion database, and sends me a link back to it when it's done, automatically. The crazy part is that I wouldn't have been able to do any of this stuff 12 months ago. But because of the advancements in AI, I'm now able to make a lot of these crazy things happen. And so can you. So if that sounds interesting to you, subscribe here and go to byot.ai and sign up for the waitlist. The next videos coming on this channel will show you how I build automations, like the ones I just mentioned. I hope you do stick around, because if you do, I'll teach you how to become an automation god.